Hello everybody, this is Sohan Reddy of CSE Cyber Security. Today my topic is about subnet mask. Coming to the introduction of the subnet mask, an IP address has two parts, the network identification and the host identification. Frequently, the network and host portions of the address need to be separately extracted. In most cases, if you know the address class, it's easy to separate the two portions. Next, the main content of the subnet mask is with the rapid growth of internet and ever increasing demand for new addresses, the standard address class structure has been expanded by borrowing bits from host portion to allow more networks. Under this addressing scheme called subnetting, separating the network and host requires a special process called subnet masking. The subnet masking process was developed to identify and extract the network part of the address. A subnet mask which contains a binary bit pattern or ones and zeros is applied to an address to determine whether the address is on the local network or not. If it is not, the process of routing it to an outside network begins. Subnet mask. The function of the subnet mask is to determine whether an IP address exists on the local network or whether it must be routed outside the local network. It is applied to the message destination address to extract the network address. If the extracted network address matches the local network ID, the destination is located on the local network. However, if they don't match, the message must be routed outside the local network. The process used to apply the subnet mask involves Boolean algebra to filter out non-matching bits to identify the network address. What is the Boolean algebra? A Boolean algebra is a process that applies binary logic to yield binary results. Working with the subnet masks, you need only four basic principles of Boolean algebra: -1 and 1 equals to 1, 1 and 0 equals to 0, 0 and 1 equals to 0, 0 and 0 equals to 0. This Boolean algebra also explains, in another words, the only way you can get a result of 1 is to combine 1 and 1. Everything else will end up as the 0. The process of combining binary values with Boolean algebra is called ANDing. Default subnet mask. There are default standard subnet masks for class A, B and C addresses. Default subnet masks. The address classes are class A, class B, class C, and the subnet masks for class A is 255.0.0.0. For class B is 250.5 0.0. For the class C is 250.5, 255.5, 255.255.0. And the subnet marks apply only to the class A, B and C or C, A, B or C IP addresses. The subnet mask is like a filter that is applied to the message destination IP address. Its objective is to determine if the local network is the destination network or not. For example, the subnet mask goes like: if a destination IP address is 206.175.167.121, we know that it is a class C address, and that is binary equivalent is 11001110.10101111.10100000 110.001.10101. Next, the routing IP address. When you build a network, you need to figure out how many networks IDs your internet requires. To do so, you must account for every WAN connection and subnet on the network. Every node and router interface requires a host address or ID. Routing IP address. There is no hard and fast rule on how you should dole out your allotted IP addresses. Commonly, though the lowest numbers, I I thought 1 through 10 are assigned to routers, servers, but how to assign addresses is strictly up to you and your network policies and guidelines. Finding subnet. A three-step example of how the default class A subnet mask is applied to the class A address. Decimal IP address, subnet, net mask and network ID. The IP address is 123.123.123.001 and the binary for the IP address is 0.11.0.111.0.011.000000001 and the subnet 255.0.0.0 111111.0000000 and the network ID is 123.0.0.0 and the binary code is as given in the table. Finding subnet work. In the previous slide, the default class A subnet mask is 255.0.0.0 is ANDs with the class A address 123.123.123.001 using the Boolean algebra, which results in the network IDs 123.0.0.0 being revealed. The default class B subnet mask 255.255.0.0 strips out the 16-bit network ID and the default class C subnet mask 255.255.255 strips out the 24-bit network ID. Coming to the subnet and subnet mask. Subnetting and a subnet masks are all different. In fact, the first creates and the second and in identified by the third. Subnetting is a process of dividing a network and its IP address into segments, each of which is called a subnetwork or a subnet. The subnet mask is a 32-bit number that is a router uses to cover up the network address to show which bits are being used to identify the subnet. Thank you one and all. This is today my topic.